So many distractions these days, right? Commercials, ads, push notifications, devices, more, more, more. Dopamine? Yes, that's right. In a fast-paced world like ours, how do distractions threaten wellness? Is it threatening medicine too? You've had similar questions? Great, then stick around for the rest of today's episode. Welcome to the Med Ed Well podcast, where physicians get empowered to take the next step in their wellness, personally, professionally, and financially. I'm your host, Dr. Ryan Stejink, a practicing general pediatrician and online entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Med Ed Well podcast. We're already to episode 25, and I want to thank you for subscribing, for listening, and for sharing these episodes with other physicians. I want to help advance physician wellness, and you are a big part of that. Not only engaging with material, but sharing with others. It makes a difference, so thank you. If you're looking to get home sooner, to get your work done more efficiently, check out my free guide, Maximize Your Clinical Efficiency. It's a free download. Just head on over to the link in the show notes. Today, we're going to be talking about distractions, how they pop up, literally, yes, pun intended, both in medical life and in your own personal life. And then how can we evaluate the potential need for any changes? Spoiler alert, it involves intentionality. But before we get to the rest of today's episode, let's hear from today's sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Dr. Jimmy Turner's book, The Physician Philosopher's Guide to Personal Finance. Dr. Turner gives a great description saying, "In medical training, our job is to hone our craft by learning and practicing the best possible medicine for our patients. Unfortunately, medical training isn't free. If you are ready to learn how to effectively pay down your student loans, invest efficiently, and achieve financial freedom early in your career, then this book is for you." You can download a copy at the Amazon link in the show notes. All right, now back to today's episode. We live in a world of distraction. Attention is commoditized, and it's all about making it more sticky, to stay longer, to watch more videos. So what? I found myself so busy, not enough time for this or that, for more sleep, to exercise, to get my work done at work. But over the past year or so, I've read a couple of books and have seen a documentary that have been really insightful and challenging for me. I got to watch The Social Dilemma and read some of Cal Newport's work, A World Without Email and Deep Work. It's been really helpful to reflect on how I interact with technology, not just my phone, but how my habits are going. For instance, in the past, I've checked my phone first thing in the morning. What did I miss on my email? What's the weather? And now that I'm here, I'll check the sports, maybe social media real quick. Okay, how long are we spending on this? So whether at home or at work, the temptations remain. My electronic inbox beckons with another result or refill request. Okay, let's check it. No, wait, I don't have time for that one. I'll come back to it. Task switching my way right into inefficiency and overwhelm. And so, it's easy to end up chronically behind, overburdened with no time for anything, but doing all the things. So when you find yourself distracted, or wondering how you can focus better, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, what do I say that I don't have time for? Number 2, what is my current state or current situation? And number 3, what can you do and how do you want to change? So first, what do I say that I don't have time for? These things may be important to you, priorities, or things that you say that you are prioritizing that you want to be important to you. Again, this comes back to intentionality and getting clear on what you want, what you value, whether it's sleep, exercise, mental health, money, success, power, family. We've talked about margin and priorities before, but this is an opportunity to surface things that you may be pushing to the back burner. Maybe it's a hobby, a special family trip, finally exercising more, which is my thing right now. And so after you say, what do I say that I don't have time for? Then look at what's your current state. Just like a financial budget needs to look back first at what was, it's the same with time. Where did you spend it? What things got in the way? Did you say certain things came up? There were particular workflows that you were burdened by or that kind of got in the way? Maybe your use of devices, that a particular location is more distracting, or that you have maybe even too many notifications on. For me, I looked at the screen time section of my phone and found that it was able to track my usage over my phone and tablet and found about 7 hours a day on my phone and tablet. And I picked up my devices about 150 times a day. Wow. Man. So I need to make some changes. I've been starting to put some things into place. So do your time audit. See where things have been going. It's kind of like we talked about with finances. You got to look back and then make some plans from there. So for this time audit, maybe you track it manually. Maybe you put it on paper, or it could be electronically, whether it's a spreadsheet, an app. There's lots of things. Even just looking at the screen time on the Apple devices, looking at notifications, pickups, specific apps. There's lots of ways to do this, and you can even track this on a desktop with other apps. Maybe even ask your significant other or kids, how is my ability to focus with you as a result of my devices? How do you feel about my devices? See what they say. Maybe there's something that's convicting for you that you need to change that would help you focus and be more present. So you might say, okay, what do you say you don't have time for? Number 2, where is that time going? And number 3, what can you and do you want to change? For me, I really like my calendar on my phone. I can have it with me wherever I'm at and update things, and I can share it with my wife. But I've started putting my daily tasks on paper in a notebook. Even my podcast show outlines I've put on Post-it notes. I started out making a script and typing out the whole thing, and initially that worked, especially as I was less comfortable speaking on camera. But scripts were just too long and took too long. I needed to make a more detailed outline, but again, an outline. And when I was doing it on my iPad, I got real distracted. For me, I know that I am the most productive in the morning. So by trying to be on my phone less, maybe even no phone early on before I get through some of the important things, it means that I have to be intentional the night before, preparing what I'll read and other tasks that I want to get done in the day before I get bombarded by the busyness of the day, before I see the notifications, the emails, and before my daughter gets up and I get to spend time with her, before my wife gets up and I get to spend time with her too. These things require thought in order to get some of those tasks completed before some of those other things that I say are priorities really need to be acted upon. To say, I want to be able to make breakfast for my daughter. I want to be able to have intentional conversations with my wife once she's awake and had her coffee and so forth. But the way you design your day is going to look different. It's going to look different than mine, and that's okay. But again, it's about being present, priorities, and intentionality. And it starts with what you want to change, and then to how. It could be trialing some of these more analog options. Maybe saying no tech before breakfast, using some of the focus modes, decreasing notifications, checking email less often, maybe even being on your devices less around just children. Pick something, try it and see how it goes, and then repeat. I previously had my work email on my phone, but with inspiration from a colleague who never had it on hers, and we had some technology issues in our system, and I didn't have access to it on my phone for a while. And so that was one of the things that I decided it's not going back on. I'll intentionally check it when I'm at work, but when I'm off, I'm off. So for you, where does this leave you? I want you to imagine if you made some changes. What could your life look like? Relationships, engaging with hobbies, personal wellness, whether exercise or sleep. What other things could you give time to? Things that you say that are priorities. How can a time audit 6 months from now reflect that, yes, you made some changes and how you spent your time reflects those priorities? So we're all on a journey. I want you to take that next step, reevaluate, and try the next thing. Again, if you need some ideas for tips to stay focused and on track at work, download the Maximize Your Clinical Efficiency Guide at the link in the show notes. Check out today's sponsor, the Physician Philosopher's Guide to Personal Finance. Again, a link in the show notes. And maybe you get the analog paper copy rather than the Kindle so that you can focus more while you're reading it. I want to thank you for joining me here on another episode of the MedEd Well podcast. Please subscribe, share this episode with a colleague or another physician, and leave a review. Thanks so much for all you do. I look forward to seeing you back for the next episode. And have a great day. And now for our important disclaimer. Dr. Ryan Stejink is a practicing general pediatrician, but the MedEd Well podcast does not reflect the views, opinions, or belief of his employer nor his affiliated university. Additionally, the MedEd Well podcast is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered advice regarding financial, legal, student loan, medical, or any other specific topic. In such a case, you should seek consultation with a certified professional in that particular area. Again, thanks for joining us on the MedEd Well podcast, and have a great day.